The U.S. dollar has done well against some currencies.
Right.
Against others, it hasn't, as you rightfully point out. The currencies were beaten down so much, like the yen and the euro, etc., that they've been rallying.
Mm-hmm.
I still own U.S. dollars. I own the Chinese currency as well. I own a smattering of other currencies, but I still own the dollar on the theory, Peter, that there's going to be more turmoil in the world, and many people are going to seek a safe haven. The U.S. dollar is a terribly flawed currency. It is not a safe haven, but it is perceived that way. And when the turmoil gets worse, many people will flee to the U.S. dollar. I hope that I'm smart enough that when it gets overpriced and maybe even turns into a bubble, I hope I'm smart enough to sell it. Well, the renminbi has been the strongest currency in the world over the past 10 or 11 years.
Right.
It is weakened against the U.S. dollar, obviously, but it's still very strong against nearly all currencies in the world. It is now, the U.S. dollar in recent months has been strong. Well, I'm not even sure that's true as of this week, but certainly the U.S. dollar was stronger against the renminbi for a while. But no, I don't pay too much attention, Peter. I don't have any clients. You have clients you have to worry about, you have to report. I usually don't even know, much less care, how I'm doing unless something goes really wrong. Well, interest rate hikes often have been beneficial, at least in the short term, because they say, aha, I can earn more money. The fundamentals, though, in the end, went out. You can raise interest rates. Sometimes you have to raise interest rates 5 or 10 times to really make any kind of significant difference. I bought rubles recently. You were speaking of beating down currencies. What I actually did was I bought short-term Russian government bonds in rubles.
Right.
At a high interest rate, and if the ruble goes up, I'll get a double play. If the ruble goes down, of course, I won't get a double play. But that's about the only thing that I have bought recently.
Yeah.
I mentioned China before because the Chinese government is giving huge incentives to develop the countryside and agriculture, which has been a disaster. Mao Zedong ruined China in many ways, including Chinese agriculture. Well, they've got a problem, and they know it. But agriculture worldwide has a great future, and certainly including Vietnam. Well, for many historic reasons, China has not had much debt until the last decade. In 2008, when the world collapsed, China had a lot of money saved for a rainy day. It started raining, and they started spending them and helped bail out the world. Now, China has increased debt itself. They have debt, which is unusual, at least on a historic basis. And next time around, it's going to cause problems. It's going to surprise a lot of people, including the Chinese. You will have, at least the government says they're going to let people go bankrupt, and I hope they mean it. But China's not as bad as the U.S. or Italy or Portugal or the U.K. or some other countries. But you're exactly right, though. The world is going to be, the next time we have economic problems, they're going to be worse because the debt everywhere is much, much higher than it was even in 2008.
What are the best ways you think then to, like, if we recognize this as a trend, does any kind of like position or investment or short come to mind when you think about that thesis?
Well, learn how to sell short is the first step. And, learn how to short bonds, certainly junk bonds, short junk bonds at the moment. I am not short bonds otherwise. There would be a time when I hope I'm smart enough to short bonds too again. But at the moment, I'm just short junk bonds. There's going to be great opportunities, but there's going to be great opportunities shorting stocks as well in the foreseeable future. Yes, those companies never go down. And normally, as I said, historically, in the end, those are the ones that lead the final collapse down. It's happened in my stock market history in the last 40 years, and I'm sure other people have experienced the same thing. And certainly, if you go back and read your history, you will see it's often the case. In the early 1970s, for instance, in New York, there was something called the Nifty 50. There were 50 stocks that, quote, never went down, because J.P. Morgan would buy them every day, and all those kind of institutions would buy them every day. on the theory that their earnings would never go down. They would always grow. Well, those stocks held up until the very end, but in the very end, boy, did they go down. They totally collapsed. Yes, no, we take the various natural resource sectors, whether it's agriculture or mining or energy, whatever it happens to be, and the major companies with a major trading volume and turn it into an index.
One is TPP. What are your thoughts on the Trans-Pacific Partnership?
Well, I don't really know enough about it. Part of it because it's been secret, as you know, which is a little bit absurd for people who are citizens of the land of the free.
Right.
That our government won't tell us what's going on. But the basic answer is freer trade, open trade is better for the world. It's always better for the world when you open markets.
Are you concerned when politicians and bureaucrats are the ones that are constructing the free trade agreements? Because that's one of been your criticisms about central banks.
I'm concerned when politicians do anything. They're competent politicians ever in history. Right. But I'd rather them open it up badly than not open it at all, or to close it. Well, I hope that I'm smart enough to always change when the world changes. The world changes, I hope I've changed with it, and the world is always changing. No matter what you think is true today is not going to be true in 15 years. And that has been true throughout history. If you go to pick a year, 1910.
Right.
See what people thought in 1910. 15 years later, the world was totally different.
Right.
1950. 15 years later, the world was totally different. So the world is constantly changing. I hope I can change with it.